Have you ever wondered just how challenging it can be to truly understand another person? Every day we encounter people who are smiling, friendly, and seem almost flawless. But how genuine are these masks, really? We know that in a world where outward appearances take center stage, many people assume different roles to hide their true selves. However, I have some good news for you. You don't need to be a professional psychologist to figure out who is sincere and who might be putting on an act. That's because there are two simple yet powerful clues that can reveal someone's character in its entirety. I'm not talking about complex or abstract concepts here, but about the small, everyday behaviors most of us barely notice. Think about it. Being able to see the real signals behind casual words and forced smiles. Being able to discover the heart of another person just by consciously observing them. Developing this skill won't only help you better understand those around you, it will also help you make wiser decisions about who you choose to keep in your life. In this video, we're going to dive into these two critical signals. Once you learn them, you'll never look at people in the same way again. You might even discover new things about yourself. Get ready, because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you connect with the world. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Mindful Sphere channel so you won't miss our upcoming videos on personal and spiritual growth, content that can transform your perspective on life, expand your horizons, and even challenge you. Now, if you're ready, let's get started. 1. How a person treats those who can't return the favor. The first point is that it's extremely important to observe how a person treats individuals who are in no position to reciprocate. For example, the way someone behaves toward a waiter, a shopkeeper, or a passerby in a tough situation is a clear reflection of that person's character. Someone who is empathetic and genuine will communicate respectfully with everyone, regardless of their power or status. In contrast, those who come across as arrogant or cold toward people who can't do anything for them often reveal deep insecurity and the need to feel superior. Even a simple "thank you" or a friendly smile is enough to show your humanity. You don't have to be a hero, you just need to choose kindness. A person's approach to others without expecting anything in return reveals their true value and sincerity. According to social psychology, the way someone behaves toward individuals who seem unimportant or uninteresting is usually not guided by any motive to impress, and thus reveals a person's essential nature more clearly. To gauge this, observe how they interact with people who are frequently overlooked, such as a receptionist or a driver. Are they warm, respectful and courteous, or do they act impatient, cold, and even rude? These seemingly insignificant moments speak volumes about empathy and humanity. Experts point out that politeness is not only an inborn trait, but also a habit we choose to cultivate. A sincere individual shows gratitude and respect, no matter the other person's social status. Even a small, genuine smile can be a powerful way to make someone feel acknowledged and treated as a fellow human being. On the flip side, being arrogant or condescending toward those at a disadvantage often reflects a lack of self-confidence. In psychology, it's frequently emphasized that trying to exert power over vulnerable people is an attempt to compensate for feelings of inferiority or low self-esteem. This kind of attitude can serve as a major red flag in both personal and professional relationships. You can better pick up on these clues by carefully and consciously observing daily interactions. Rather than settling for superficial chit-chat, focus on how the person reacts when faced with small inconveniences. For example, if someone lashes out at a waiter over a minor mistake, they may not be managing their emotions in a healthy way. In contrast, someone who approaches the same scenario calmly and understandingly demonstrates emotional maturity. To sharpen your own judgment, ask yourself questions like, Does this person show respect to those who serve or help them? Do they express gratitude even in small situations? Do they try to make others comfortable? Or do they only care about what they want? The answers can uncover deeply hidden layers of a person's character. While you observe others, don't forget to hold a mirror up to your own attitude. How do you treat people who can't do anything for you? Do you overlook them or treat them dismissively? Evaluating your own actions not only helps you grow as a person, it also enables you to better understand the true nature of others. After all, how someone deals with those who cannot reciprocate is one of the most powerful and consistent indicators of genuine character. If you truly want to get to know a person, pay close attention to these small yet meaningful details. More often than not, they speak louder than any long-winded speech. And remember, kindness and respect are always the strongest expressions of who we really are. 2. The psychological value of keeping promises. The second crucial factor is the psychological importance of following through on your word. Keeping a promise isn't just about being polite. It's also a direct sign of personal integrity and respect for others. From a psychological standpoint, breaking a promise undermines trust. When someone makes a commitment and actually keeps it, they're sending a clear message. You matter, and I honor my word. In contrast, broken promises can lead to disappointment, damage relationships, and tarnish a person's reputation. Understanding a person's character hinges on looking at consistency. Psychologists such as Albert Bandura, known for social learning theory, emphasize that our actions shape both how others see us and how we see ourselves. A person who keeps their promises, even when it's difficult, reinforces their credibility by demonstrating loyalty to others and to themselves. What matters isn't the size of the promise, but its sincerity and fulfillment. Even something as simple as keeping a casual appointment or sticking to a small commitment can reveal a lot about someone's character. As a practical tip, pay attention to how people behave in everyday life. Do they show up on time for meetings or appointments? Do they meet deadlines? Do they follow through when they say they will? These small details can provide insight into a person's trustworthiness. The real test of integrity comes during challenging times. A person who finds a way to honor a commitment despite obstacles often has a strong ethical foundation. On the other hand, those who use challenges as an excuse to break promises may lack reliability. Asking yourself, is this person solution-oriented, or do they give up at the first sign of trouble, can help you gauge character. When a promise is broken, how a person handles that situation is just as significant as the promise itself. Experts like Brené Brown argue that honestly acknowledging the mistake and offering a clear explanation is a sign of emotional maturity. If someone sidesteps responsibility or trivializes a broken promise, they may be disrespecting both others and their own values. To spot this, watch how much importance someone places on their commitments and how attentive they are to details. Also, watch out for overpromising. Setting unrealistic expectations can mean the person doesn't understand their own limits or doesn't take promises seriously. A trustworthy person makes promises that are realistic and keeps them. While observing how others handle promises, it's just as important to assess your own behavior. Keeping your promises not only builds trust around you, it also boosts your self-esteem. Ask yourself, do I follow through on the promises I make to myself? For example, how committed are you to starting a new habit or pursuing a personal goal? Staying consistent with your own commitments is the first step in developing a strong character that inspires confidence in others. Ultimately, keeping promises is about being consistent and reliable, not about being perfect. Watching how a person manages each commitment, from small gestures to major decisions, can reveal a great deal about their character. Remember, keeping your word doesn't only strengthen your relationships, it also provides a solid foundation for personal growth. We hope you found this video both helpful and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe to the Mindful Sphere channel so you won't miss our upcoming content on wisdom and spirituality. And if you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to share it so that others may benefit too. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you in the next video.